Yeah. There now. And we're underway. I'm Franklin, and this is the Cosmic Watch, where we will see what's going on in the sky, see what omens and signs we can decipher for our people who will be in the chat room tonight. We'll do readings for those who stop by, as we have a new moon rising in Taurus as we move to the sun sign Taurus, and the moon sign is in Taurus tonight. It's a second house all the way through. If you are born today, you are born under the sign of Taurus, with your moon sign also in Taurus. You are going to be a person who communicates with other people. That's the great Taurus trait, is to be able to communicate with others. And this is what everyone is experiencing right now. We're all under the sign of Taurus. And here's SJ in the chat room saying hi. SJ, we are moving into a retrograde. We did yesterday. How am I? Well, I luckily got things done just in the nick of time. Got a court proceeding taken care of just under the wire. We are now in a 3-week waiting period, sort of a delay, if you want to look at it that way, but also a second chance at whatever has been happening in the past 3 weeks. And here's Cody joining us in the chat room. Cody, did you get everything taken care of just in the nick of time? We're about to see a 3-week repeat of what has been happening. Whatever's happened to you in the past 3 weeks is about to come to you again, as this retrograde of the planet Mercury happens again, just as it did at the very first of the year. If you'll think back to those first 3 weeks of this year, back in January, we had a repeat of what had happened in the previous 3 weeks. You had a second chance to see it from maybe a different point of view. And for a lot of people, all it was just another chance to do the very same thing over again, because people have a hard time changing. And if you were born today on the 21st of April, your numerology adds up to 14. 1 plus 4 equals 5. You're a 5. That's change. Your entire life will be changing from wanting independence to needing to depend upon other people, learning how to be able to accept the help of other people. That's what the life of the 145 is going to be all about. So as we look at today, everyone is going to be affected by not only the sun sign being in Taurus, but also the moon sign being in Taurus. It's about our communications. All of the fire signs are finding that their communications are going haywire on them right now. The earth signs, like Taurus, are finding out how good their communication really is. Cody says, my birth season. Yes. Well, the others, see, the air signs for today, feeling that Taurus feel, the air signs, all the messages are crossed. And everything is coming mixed up right now. And for the water signs, it's all about having a blast from the past. something is coming back from our past for water signs. So be ready for a return event. Of course, we're about to go into this retrograde period. So here's SJ says, my sister granddaughter, my sister's granddaughter's birthday is today. Wow. Now, how about that? The the thing about the second house of Taurus is it's about the material world and possessions and the amassing of possessions. You're very lucky if you're born today in a material world sense. You're going to be able to not only see the worth of the things that you buy with your money, the worth of anything, see the real value of it, you're also going to be able to see your self-worth. This little person born today will be able to value themselves and see their own self-worth. Here's Crazy Coolio saying hi. One of our members that we've brought together in our chat room. Crazy, what sort of a week have you had? For me, it was finishing things up just under the wire before this retrograde comes into effect for 3 weeks here. Now things are just closing. They're delaying. You're not there quite on time, and you're delayed for a couple of weeks. Come back next time, and better luck to you. And so things had to be done this week, but just before this retrograde came in. So the thing about this being the new moon means that your recovery period of your body is now in its down stage. Remember, we've talked about this before. If you're going to have surgery, the best time for your body to be able to recover is between the full moon and the new moon. Well, we just had the new moon right now. So the 2 weeks that come up now are not the best time for a recovery period. Here's Crazy Coolio said, I went to a boba shop. First time. Boba is bubble tea. Teas with bubbles. It tasted bad. And I want a refund, but they're closed. Cody says, the thing about being a Taurus is I can take my time with other things I do in general. Yes, this is because you can appreciate the beauty in other people. When you're born under the sign of Taurus, your planet is Venus, the planet of love, the planet of others giving you love and you being able to accept it, to not only accept love from others, but actually return it, to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, instead of hitting them first because you know they had bad intentions. That's really the difference between Aries, we just came out of, and Taurus, which we entered yesterday. And I can feel it palatably, the difference in this new moon is bringing rebirth. It is bringing a new planning. Cody saying yes. To have the planet Venus as your ruling planet, to have that next door planet, and that's why Mars and Venus are both so strong in their the only thing stronger than Mars and Venus are, of course, the sun and the moon. Cancer and Leo. Yeah, the two primes, right? So, you're right, Cody. The love planet, the planet that allows us to appreciate true beauty, to appreciate truth. Is what I'm really saying. There's more beauty in truth than there is in any physical thing. Anything can be beautiful. We can be beautiful. That's really the point. When we get to this Taurus time of the year, and as we come out of Aries, which is all about how do I look, how do I look, how I feel, into cooperation in the second house with how do we feel, how do other people react to me and what I'm doing, what am I putting out into the world. Cody says Mercury is the planet of communication, of fast communications. Mercury goes 4 times the speed of Earth to show us the different 4 seasons when he comes in. But it's also, it moves so fast. If you, when Mercury, when you have a relationship with somebody under the influence of Mercury, it's liable to be over in a week's time. Mercury makes people get down to the action, right? Of taking action. Exactly. Cody says Mars, the planet of taking action. And this is where we can really separate the Aries people, and we just all came out from under the Aries influence, and better appreciate the Taurus people for thinking before they act. Aries is all about jumping out there, leaping before you look where you're even going to land at, right? And Taurus is about saying, where do I want to come down at? Wouldn't I rather be over here than over there? And then putting in the work to make it happen. That's why this is a very good time of the year for everybody. This Taurus time of the year. Cody says the sun, the planet of confidence, the moon, the emotional planet. Exactly. So if you'll think about Leo and the sun, right? Nobody has more self-confidence than a Leo. Leos believe that whatever they're doing is the right thing and that they're doing it the right way, and it's very hard to tell them anything different. Whereas Cancer, being ruled by the moon, is purely emotional. And this is why Cancer people have to hide themselves from the world sometimes, because people take advantage of them so easily. They when you wear your emotions on your sleeve and you let everyone know how you feel, it's wonderful for you, and as long as everyone is in the same mood. But if you are a Cancer and you are completely emotional, the problem is you pick up hate as easily as you pick up love, and you soak it up like a sponge. You go into a room full of the wrong people as a Cancer, and you're almost suffocated. You go, of course, if a Cancer goes into a room full of love, they thrive, they grow, they thoroughly enjoy themselves, and this is. My guides are saying, get it out, boy, get it out. This is why it's so important for us to all know that each person on this planet has all 12 signs within them. We all go through the moon sign changing every 2.5 days, and we all react to the different signs that go through. Cody says the planet Jupiter is the planet of wealth and success, and just good luck, good fortune, Good luck. And the real lesson that we're supposed to learn from Jupiter is that you can get too much of a good thing. It is very possible to be overserved on anything. Too much of anything can be harmful to you overall. Too much hatred, too much revenge. These things eat you alive, spit you out, leave you in a shell. So Cody's been checking on his planets, right? The planet Saturn, the planet of responsibility, very often called the planet of fate, of destiny. Those who believe in the Akashic records believe that they're read somehow using the planet Saturn. Perhaps it's the rings around Saturn. Saturn is getting what you deserve. Saturn is not only the planet of karma, it's the planet of instant karma. Action, reaction, right? For every action, there is a reaction. Hey, here's Karen joining us in the chat room. Karen, we're I bet you know we're into a retrograde right now, and the things that you got done this week, you got done just in the nick of time. And these were good things. In fact, I think it's time we roll back through here, and let's see. Cody says, "What's the meaning for the planet of Uranus and Neptune?" Ooh, Uranus is the planet of electricity. It's the planet that was discovered as electricity was discovered. The planet that has an ongoing electrical storm that never ends. It is the planet of today. And for Neptune, Neptune wasn't even discovered till about 100 years ago. Right? And things had to be rewritten when Neptune and Pluto were discovered. It's about 1930, and this is when astrology, as we know it today, is put together in the way that we recognize it. Karen says Pluto is transiting in Aquarius. Ooh, the thing about Pluto is it's so far away that it can stay in a sign for 20 years. Yes, it takes Neptune and Pluto take over 200 years to make a full circle around the sun. The full cycle of our entire universe out there is 245 years. And it's Karen, if the transition is going on right now, and you see what's also happening while all this goes on is that Neptune is in Pisces, the home planet of Pisces. It's been there for several years and will be there until 2025. So we have all been dreaming more vividly since this occurred, and then living out our dreams. That's the Neptune influence. It's the dream world that can be brought into reality. And it takes so long, most people don't even notice it happens. It's it really astrology as a whole really takes a lifetime to understand. It's and it's the same things that have been happening for the past 100 years, because it's just the past 200 years that we have astrology as we know it, which is for everyone, which is until 1830, when sun sign reading became a thing. Astrology was only for kings and queens. A comet coming through the sky, and a king was going to die. A country was going to change rulers, and it only meant that because people didn't understand that every day of the year is just as important as the other days. And this is the real change that astrology brought to the world, is that everyone is the same. Everyone on the planet. There are no kings and queens. Not to God. You think God recognizes someone because they wear a crown? Well, you're living in the wrong universe. This this is not the sort of thing that impresses God. It only impresses people to wear gold, to have golden chains on your elephants, as the Buddha did, and the the whole birth of the Buddha is where we began to understand astrology. And when the Buddha was born, he's a prince. So, of course, he's one of the few people in the world that the astrologers did a birth forecast for. And the Buddha's astrology forecast said if he remains attached to the material world, then he will have great riches. But if he attaches to the spirit world, then he will change the lives of everyone on earth. His father preferred that he stayed under his control. He stayed in the material world. This is why his father, like each and every parent who's ever been on this planet, tried to make tomorrow not be a problem for his son. Tried to protect him from the world, and this is why the Buddha had to find a way for himself to get out of that sort of a trap. Cody says, "Can you imagine how it was to do that 200 years ago?" Imagine this, living in this country. Imagine that in 1830, the United Kingdom abolished slavery. 30 years before the American Civil War, across the border was freedom. And of course, that affected also the northern tier of states in the United States. And the thing that Alan Leo, and that's just the pen name that Leo wrote under to avoid prosecution, because gypsy fortune telling in the United Kingdom had been declared a black art, and it was against the law. And when they arrested the man who wrote under the name Alan Leo, he defended himself by saying he was not telling fortunes. He was just, it was no more what he was doing, reading sun signs. was no more than knowing which way the ocean current was going to take your boat, knowing where you were going to end up later in your life. And Alan Leo's great contribution to the world not only is to show that everyone who knows their exact date of birth can have a detailed astrological reading and see where they're headed in their life, but that everything that every piece of good and bad that comes to us, Leo saw as coming to the earth on rays of sunlight. And if he also saw that the sun shone equally on every soul on earth, and to Alan Leo, in his publication, he said, this shows that God thinks equally of each and every soul that is on this earth. That there's no difference between a peasant and a king. That we're all the same human beings being pushed and manipulated by our own destinies. And this is the concept that Alan Leo opened up, that each and every person on the planet has a destiny, that that God thinks enough of you, me, everyone, to have the Akashic records. Everyone on this planet is listed. They have their own page in the Akashic records. And this is the proof that my guides offer to me. And I can't see the Akashic records. There are souls. Edgar Casey said he could actually turn the pages of the Akashic records, and this is how he got the information while he's in a trance. But I think that I'm like most souls in that my spirit guides do have access to the records. So my spirit guides can, Cody, he was. He's his book, you have to really want to read the English translation of his book. But it is really about equality more than anything else in the world. And he felt like the whole idea of sun signs had been put into his mind by the spirit world. And this is why he went to the trouble to publish, and of course why he had to use a pen name. But because this was a very touchy subject. This got into people's religious beliefs, and at that time, when you did that, boy, you were really asking for a lot of trouble. Hey, here's Izzy saying hi. Izzy, you remind me that we have not been looking at cards for people tonight, and that's what we need to be doing for Izzy this week. If I pulled a card for Izzy, it would be that someone is not telling you the whole truth. Someone's holding it back. Someone's saying one thing and doing another. So, Izzy, be on the lookout. That someone is doing it for your own good, telling you not the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, bending it a bit. So beware. And that's just what I'm talking about here with my guides in the Akashic records. I have to know that my guides never tell me exactly what's there. They tell me what they think I should hear because of what they think I should do. SJ says, Franklin, you could pull some cards for me. Yes, I can. SJ, for you tonight, there's a cycle ending, a cycle that has been painful. Uh, so, yes, this could be doctors. And there's a brighter day just about to come. So that's, yeah. Uh, uh, Final divorce in my future. Is he wondering if there's a final divorce coming up in her future? Yes, to show others how it's done. There are other people who are looking to you to get this done, and it will. Yes, it will. And if we work our way back, Cody, we never pulled a card on Cody tonight. Changes coming, Cody. Yes, changes are on the way, and this is you bringing the two sides of yourself together to meet that challenge. It's going to take not only some logic, but also emotion, also feeling, I suppose, for the others that the change is going to affect, and seeing how we all have to change. And accepting change is just like accepting love. Reject hate, accept love. You don't have an option with change. Change is inevitable and will come. If we work our way back, Karen has been out there for a long time waiting for her card to come up. Karen, this is the retrograde. The blast from the past is coming for the water signs. There's something, Karen, that has happened in the past that's just about to repeat, and this is to show you the power that you have to guide others, to show the right thing. Wow. Hey, here's Larry. Could you pull a card for me? Oh, Larry, good to have you with us tonight in the chat room. For Larry, it's about understanding what's coming to you, very possibly in a dream. Understanding that you can't always get exactly what you want. Sometimes it comes out fishy. It comes out you not knowing. And this is what it's all about, is understanding those things that come to you. Cody say changes are coming. Yes, Cody. There are big changes that are coming to you. This is it's probably going to be a couple of weeks, but before these things can really happen, as we get into the retrograde period, things are going to be delayed. And let me see if we've. Cody says, "Can imagine what kind of change." Well, yes, yeah. This is you put all that together with springtime, and this is the time of the year that changes come. Remember, the most fortunate time is the 30 days, 28 days that lead up to your birthday, and then there's like a disintegration after your birthday. of about a week where things settle back in to the real routine. And then for at about 2-3 weeks after your birthday, things fall into where they're going to stay for the rest of the year. Cody says, but will I get to see what the change is? Will you get to see? So will you see it coming? Are you going to see it or just feel these changes? It's more that it's the earth under you moving, right? And it's like being on that horse. You you can try to rein it in, but that horse is going where it wants to go, and it looks like you are prepared for it, man. That you've already seen this coming, and you've been preparing for it. Be around my birthday in a couple of weeks. Yes. So right now is the most prosperous time of the year for you, Cody. This is the time of the year to sit back and let things happen. You can't push the river, and there's no need to. Things are going to fall in line as they're supposed to. You'll find yourself right on time, right? And that's what always happens in the couple of weeks leading up to your birthday. So if you can open your mind to it and allow the changes to happen, even the changes that look like they're going to make you work harder or have to take care of somebody, the changes that are coming into your life are merely disguised as not great things. Very quickly, within the next few weeks, you're going to find out the true value of these things that are coming into your life, and be able to show your appreciation by putting them to use. That nothing comes into your life without a reason, and change is one of those things that comes into your life as a condition beyond your control. And these are the things that really push us in the right direction, that don't give us too much of an option. And this is how your spirit guides change as they go along. They begin by just giving you hints, clues, omens, signs that you very often mistake for something else. You see them as being a new responsibility on the job, where really it's a way to get promoted. It's a way to push yourself out of the rut. This is the problem with success, isn't it? That we fall into that comfortable rut. Let things happen naturally, says Cody. That truly is the key to a happy life. You can be as happy or as carefree or as care burdened as you really want to be. There are so many things that we worry about that we really can't do anything about. This is the whole concept of television news, is to let's look ahead a month and see what we can worry about now that we really can't do anything about. So the problem really is, what do we allow into our lives? What are we concerned about, and why are we concerned about it? If we use our personal relationship with the spirit world, and that's as close to God as any of us are ever going to get. God doesn't. God, I can't imagine that God would ever speak to me. But the wonderful thing about it is that The angels are, the angels came before humans. They've always been here. They prepared a place for us. They prepared this earth. Not only the angels, but also the fallen angels. And just like I say, I know that my guides are seeing the Akashic records. And I also know that they are going to bend those records a bit to not show me what I'm not supposed to see, to show me only what I'm going to be able to use, what will be useful to me. This is what angels do. They are useful, and they help us to become more useful. Those who reject the spirit world and really consider themselves to be self-made people have nobody to blame but themselves. Whether we believe in the spirit world or not, we all create our own universe by the way that we react to other people and by what we expect tomorrow to bring. Think about that for a moment. The religious sect that Joseph and Mary, remember them? The most blessed couple who's ever been on earth. The celibate couple who were the most blessed couple ever on earth. Joseph and Mary belong to the Essene sect. And that's a Greek word that means those who can hear and see the unseen, and the unhearable, those who communicate with the spirit world. That's what their commune was known for. They experienced talking with angels and doing what angels had instructed them to do. And Joseph and Mary belonged to a group who thought that there was no personal property, that God owned everything within their commune. They took a vow to spend a third of their life working for God and a third of their life studying about God and a third of their life ministering to other people. That's 24 hours a day, right? they were they believed that they were going to be taken care of. They didn't put money in the bank. They didn't save for a rainy day. They knew that they were going to be taken care of. Cody says, I'll tell you one thing too. I've always felt that God showed me signs from other situations, things that I've been before. What else could reincarnation be used for? It's at the end of a life, you will see and hear every word that you've ever said in this lifetime. And you'll also get to see the reactions that you brought from other people. The consequences that you actually brought. And instead of the television show where the car drives up on the sidewalk, and we never see what kind of damage was done, you will get to see the aftermath of you walking through this world in the way that all of us haphazardly walk through, bumping into each other's karmas and tripping over each other's karmas, and sometimes being involved with people who aren't even supposed to be in our life, or falling into a life where you do not belong. Now, how do you know if that person that you're with is supposed to be in your life? Well, the good news is there's a way to tell, but the bad news is you can only tell after the fact, really. Uh, Also, there were times someone powerful with others. Oh, oh, oh! This is reading other people. Now here is Nene coming by. Nene, we're going into a retrograde period here, dear. Let me do a card for Nene and see what is uh, happening with you, dear. Is a new beginning, a new way of seeing things, dear. This is great. This is you uh, seeing things from a different point of view, rethinking someone or something, and relieving yourself of having to uh, try and control someone who won't be controlled. So, oh, and a new position. Yes, yes. See that this is you deciding to hang somewhere else. Exactly. Yes, yes. So this is exactly what your guides were asking you to do. This is why things worked out the way that they have, and it's it's really up to you to make everything of this that can possibly be had, because see, uh, this is the 12, and there's really only 12 numbers. That means you're in the place you're supposed to be, and that you must feel very at home. The people there are going to learn from you. That's why you're going, is those people that you're going to be working with. There's someone very important there, and you're the guide. You're the one who's going to light the path and show them who they really are. There's someone really undervaluing themselves at this new place you're going, and you're going to open their eyes. How about that? You're going to be oh, they'll always remember you. You're going to be like a mentor for someone, and that's beautiful. That really is great. Cody says, I remember you talking about Johnny Carson on the Tonight Show. We come on 5 nights a week and a couple of nights from the reruns. I believe Carson was the first thing that actually reran. The local stations own the rights to Andy Griffith, and always showed those reruns, and the Three Stooges, the old Three Stooges things used to rerun all of the time, and those there were no real reruns, um, because there were, um, and I think it's because that there were so many shows being taped, like 40 shows a year, is why they finally had to find something to do with all of those tape shows. During the 1950s, as you see, very few shows survived because of the taping process that the old tape crumbled. And you had to keep it in a vault, right? And now they've been able to digitize everything. But that's why the 50s are not there. But every station who had actually run the Andy Griffith Show still had the old tapes laying right there in the studio. And when something went wrong, they wanted to fill a half hour, they would just put on one of the reruns. And of course, if they had a shorter thing to fill, they'd throw in the Three Stooges short. And these things were obviously free to the television stations, and that's where like the concept of reruns comes from. See, you have to remember that prime time television came first. Remember when Fox first came on, and the first thing they did was prime time, and then they built around it from there. Allowed the local station to build around it from there. In the beginning, at the time, Carson, early '60s, when Carson is really ruling the nation because he has Johnny Carson clothing is being worn by everybody in the country, and people are adopting the Midwestern non-accent of Johnny Carson. And Carson has such a wonderful way of setting things up and then knocking them down. If you buy the premise, you buy the bit. He has this wonderful way of communicating one-on-one. Out of all of those millions of people who are watching, each one of them felt like Carson was talking to them. That was the beauty of the whole thing. Everybody felt involved. And Cody says it is '80s. He changed it. Come on, 3 nights a week. In the '80s, yes, yes, because he burned out. Imagine what a part of your life it would be to tape a 90-minute program every afternoon, even 5 days a week, and you do that for 10 years. And the whole idea, see, of having it in New York was to have access to the Broadway performers. And then when they moved to California, the whole idea was to have access to the Hollywood performers. And the change from New York to Hollywood was felt so much in just the clothing that Carson was wearing. It changed the entire attitude of the world. Honestly, the most powerful persons in America in the 1960s are Johnny Carson and Walter Cronkite, the newscaster. Walter Cronkite is the most trusted man in America. Can you imagine this? A newscaster is actually the most trusted man in the country. It was a different time, and this is before reruns. And think how reruns have changed the entire concept of television. We had to go to cable because we had to have 500 stereo channels to be able to present all of the wonderful things. What is that song? 500 channels and nothing on. What I have found is it's better to have one of the services where you plug in your own and have the pre-recorded things to binge on. You can see, yeah, I've been watching All in the Family, the original episodes. Poor old Sally Struthers looks like she's starving to death. And in the pilot episode, she can't weigh 100 pounds. Oh, heard about Barbara Walters, the first woman who was taken seriously in news. A whole concept. The news changed when it became part of the programming with the sports department at ABC. CBS, NBC owned the world in news. ABC would do anything to break in. Woman, English speaking guy, anything. They tried it all, and they finally did break in. And it was women. Women today are getting ready for the biggest fight they've ever had. Their fight for freedom is here, and this is the new fight for freedom. Is that is Cody is saying that Walter Cronkite was on CBS for 20 years. Now imagine that. In his the Huntley Brinkley report was on NBC against him. Chet Huntley and David Brinkley, the two-man report, they were on just about as long. And in a half an hour, they were able to deliver all the news that anybody really needed. And this is why we've had such a change in the world since we've gone to 24-hour news. Cable news has to be self-fulfilling. Once you have pre-sold the commercials, and this, of course they do. It's like the Super Bowl. You have to play the Super Bowl because you have pre-sold those commercials. Once you've pre-sold the commercials, you have to create the news to be between the commercials. And there, my friend, is what's wrong with the world today. We create the news. What are there, 20 different news outlet channels now? How could there possibly be 20 different ways to look at the news? Well, certainly there are. The old ways of everything are being swept away. This is Pisces in Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is in the old home country and will be until 2025. And that means that dreams can come true. Whatever can be dreamed can become reality. Unfortunately, that's good and bad. But if we think about what we're doing, we can create a much better universe, and not only for ourselves. Now we have to ask ourselves, why would we go to all the trouble to create a better universe for other people? Why? Here's what I think. I think nobody goes to God until we all go. And nobody goes until we're all enlightened, until we help each other. This is why there's 8 billion people on the planet, so we can watch each other, learn from each other. Cody says, I remember watching Walter Cronkite talking about JFK. Oh, the next president, Johnson. Oh, man. Sunday morning, the following Sunday morning, I saw the killing of the man who killed JFK, live television. I can see it like it was yesterday. Man walking out of the crowd, and bam, you're dead. The country was so distraught that they canceled the Dallas football game because he had died in Dallas. And there were people who thought that there was a conspiracy and that maybe LBJ wasn't going to be able to return to Washington, D.C. This is why they went to the 24-hour coverage when this happened, because there were so many unanswered questions and so many things that had never happened before. Nene saying, Franklin, thanks for the read-in chat next week. And Nene, thank you so much for being here. And to everyone, I really appreciate you letting me be a part of your evening or later on the podcast. And I will see you on the Cosmic Watch next next week, same time, same place. Till then, I'm Franklin, and I really do appreciate you being here.